Politics have become a very important aspect in our country today. Every American has chosen a party to support or certain beliefs to support and has done so religiously. Then there are some who really don't care which party to support or which beliefs are upheld. Personally, I'm a conservative, and I believe wholeheartedly that that is how our country would function best, as if it was fully conservative supportive. Being conservative means you believe in the idea of self-responsibility, that every action that occurs or that you do, you're responsible for. Conservatives believe in hard work, doing things on your own with little assistance. You could say they're kind of stubborn in some aspect. Um, they don't care for a lot of interference from the government. They like to make decisions based on their ideas and how hard they've worked for it. They don't like a lot of government coming in and saying what they will and will not do, whether or not the conservative themselves has worked hard for it or not. As a conservative, they don't support a lot of government-assisted programs. They believe that if you work hard enough, then you can achieve whatever it is you want to do, and that relying on the government to support you or to support your habits and inhibitions, then that's not taking full responsibility for yourself. As a conservative, I believe that the government does become too involved in some state decisions. I do believe that government-assisted programs have become a large part of many individuals' lifestyles. That they have come to rely on these programs to pay for their education, pay for their daycare, pay for their health insurance. They have become very reliant on this, and when they become reliant on those programs, then they cease to work, and they cease to work hard enough to support their families, or to support themselves, or to support their goals. And all those programs are all funded by the government. That money that's being taken from other important projects, roadways, schools, other facilities that can incorporate more education and teaching skills into our younger generation, is being sucked out of that funding is being sucked out of those individual corporations and put into these assisted programs to support individuals who basically don't want to work. They don't want to give up that assistance. They don't want to maybe rough it for a while. And the government steps in and says, hey, as a state, you are going to provide some sort of statewide assistance, whether it's WIC cards or it's food stamps. You as a state are going to have a local center to do that because you have individuals that need that assistance. And I'm not totally against that, but I do believe that I understand people fall on hard times, and I understand that sometimes things don't always play out how you planned. And I believe that those programs are good. And as conservative, we would support them to a degree. It's when people stay on them for years and years and years and milk the system and suck all that money and all that funding out of programs who need that money, when the individual just does not want to give up that easy cash flow and go out and get a job and maybe struggle for a little while before they get on their feet. Another huge issue of being a conservative is the oil industry. As conservative, we thrive on natural gas, oil, and coal. Those are our three main industries that liberals tend to think are non-renewable resources. That when the coal is gone, and when the oil dries up, and when the natural gas is finished, that we should not use those resources, and we should find other ways to gain that energy and gain that job security. However, oil was on this earth to be drilled, and we as Americans figured out how to refine that oil and create a booming business of this. And from the coal and the oil and the gas industry, we support our economy. That is what a lot of northern states thrive on. Northern and western states thrive on that industry, and it is something that we need to use. That it was not put on this earth in order not to be used. If it wasn't meant to be used, we would have figured out a long time ago it wasn't meant to be used, and we would have stopped drilling it. But obviously, it creates thousands and thousands of jobs a year, which boosts our economy as consumers to be able to have that money from that job to buy things, to boost the cash flow, to boost our economy. If you were to take away the drilling, the coal mining, and the natural gas engineering, you would put thousands out of jobs. Thousands of individuals would go with no work, which in turn would have to turn to a government-assisted program of unemployment in order to survive until they got another job, which then would take funding out of other corporations and groups and societies that may support your liberal view. So, as a conservative, I think that we have done very well to uphold our personal beliefs and be driven to accomplish something more than let others take care of us. And I believe that if we did not treat our citizens with so much carefulness, I think we'd be in a lot better position than we are today.